Are you a wrestling fan? Well, you stink. And I asked on Instagram why wrestling fans stink. Because listen, as a wrestling fan myself, I'm pretty self-aware of the community and the worst parts of the community. I've seen it with my very own eyes. And I asked you on Instagram this. All right, I'm about to film a video and I need your help. I want your responses about wrestling fans. Anything that wrestling fans do, chants, behavior online, anything involving wrestling fans, the worst thing that they possibly do, in your opinion, let me know right here and I'm gonna react to each one of them in tomorrow's video because I'm gonna film it right now. So hurry up, respond, tell me now. So I want to hear from wrestling fans about what they think the worst thing that wrestling fans do is. I'm going to read out some responses. Thank you guys for giving me your answers on Instagram, and I'm going to respond to them right now. Let's do it. Well, the first one I want to read here is from Jaden Prince 78, and they said the what chant. Now, I think this would probably be my answer for literally anything that wrestling fans do that's bad. The what chant is so ridiculous. And I understand, listen, I don't know why Steve Austin doesn't come out and say, hey guys, this is like actively harming every promo ever. Stop doing it. I guess that's uncool for Stone Cold Steve Austin to do, whatever, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is they do this for every promo. They did it to Roman Reigns this past Monday. It's crazy to me. They whatted Roman Reigns. I understand it's like a common thing that you take a breath in between sentences and promos that sound like this. You take one little second to breathe and everybody starts chanting what? What? Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, I just like to imagine Kid put some what chants in there as I was talking. But it actively hurts promos. Like, Lyra Valkyria has been stepping up her game lately on the microphone big time. There was a big kind of conversation before about her needing more of a personality on screen, and I think she's been showing that more. But even when she grabs the microphone and tries as hard as she can to, make a story interesting, what if you literally have an accent? If you're Gunther, Rusev, if you have literally any foreign accent that doesn't sound American, what? They wanted Roman Reigns, which is crazy, and it's kind of like lame now. I don't even know I guess like it's fun for a crowd to do because it's like a chant thing. They're all doing it together. So it's weird that so many like millions of people in these, crowds all over the country and the world. No, the country. I don't really see international people do it, but people all over the country, they decide to do it. And I don't understand why. American wrestling fans, are they the worst type of wrestling fans? Yes. Correct. We got ASPXCQ. Okay, swear everyone needs a push. So he's saying that the worst thing is that wrestling fans swear that everybody needs to get pushed, which I kind of agree with. There's nothing wrong with having favorites, though. You know what I mean? Like, if you genuinely, Sami Zayn. Oh my God, I really want Sami Zayn to win a world championship, advocating for this person to get pushed. I think that's okay. You know what I mean? I think having a favorite and wanting them to do well is not a bad thing that wrestling fans do. However, my problem is we have this overall, like, hive mind. Shout out the Hive Mind channel, by the way. I really want to be in a Hive Mind video. Riley won't answer my DMs. That's fine. Whatever. But wrestling fans have this hive mind where if there's like a golden goose that people want to strap a rocket to, or a couple people on Twitter said, hey, this person needs to be pushed, everybody all of a sudden starts getting on that train. And it makes me feel like people don't have any thoughts for themselves. Karrion Kross, I'm going to bring it up again, is a perfect example of it. Again, I think Karrion Kross is fine. He's entertaining. But he did also have one really good, curse-wordy promo. And since then, everybody's wanted them to be, pushed to a main event scene and win world championships and whatever. It's gotten them to, having a singles match on a SummerSlam card, which I guess is something. So, sure. But they do this a lot for a lot of people. I've seen, people wanted Joe Hendry to come and win, like, the Rumble this year. You got the appearance. I think that's fine. And it gets to a point where if you have anything negative to say, or maybe anything, not even negative, any critique you might have about the current internet's darling, you're like the worst person on earth because, oh my God, you're telling me that you don't want fucking Angelo Dawkins to be WWE champion? Do you even watch wrestling? I'm convinced this person just started watching wrestling a year ago. Whatever. Dakota Montgomery, I'm gonna forgive you for the for the spelling there, but their smell wrestling fans, their smell. Yeah, you know, this is why I don't take people serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people feel like they can pressure a content creator or like anything to do stuff because like, hey, I'm typing this out and, you know, you have to listen to me. You owe me everything. I don't, you know, really care because I know what you smell like. You know what I mean? And again, I don't want to talk so like generally about everybody because everybody is different. You can get people that watch wrestling from a bunch of places. But let's not sit here and kid ourselves about the weird ones. They all got a look. They all talk the same. They, you know what I mean? They all have the same like occupation, which is nothing, and they all stink. They all stink to high heaven. How many times have you heard a female content creator talk about, oh my God, somebody almost kissed me? I'm sure people are watching this channel right now. People are watching this probably that have that same mentality. If you see fucking, I don't know, insert any female content creator, oh, I'm gonna, you know, maybe they'll be my girlfriend. That's what I thought when I was like 15. You know what I mean? When I was like, oh God, do I even want to say it? When I was like 18, 19, there's this female content creator who I will not name. She's a friend of mine now, but from watching the content, I had a big crush on her, like just from, you know, watching it. I was like, damn, like maybe, you know, maybe I got a chance one day. I definitely did not. Also, I mean, it's weird to say now because I do know the person. She's never, I will never say this to her ever. But, you know what I mean? It's like, it's wrestling fans have this weird overconfidence when they stink, is the moral of the story. And I've sat next to a lot of people that have smelled really bad, and I've tried myself to, you know, make sure that that's not, it's hard. Again, I will give, you know, some leeway. Say SummerSlam, it's an outdoor stadium, it's hot, you're walking around, you gotta go through that long entranceway and, you know, maybe go up the steps or something, you're traveling around, going to the bathroom, trying to rush to your seat. Sometimes you get a little sweaty, sometimes you get a little sticky. Deodorant's not hard to buy, though, you know what I mean? Showers are not hard to do. Unless you're homeless. If you're a homeless person and you happen to get a ticket to a WWE show, I'll forgive you. But if that's not the case, which I'm pretty sure is the most of you people, take a shower, put some deodorant, maybe use some shampoo. Your hair can stink as well, you know what I mean? Maybe a little conditioner, you know what I mean? Mouthwash, you know? It's one thing to be ugly. That's God's gift to you, but you can't stink. That's the gift you can give to yourself. Did I articulate that correctly, kid? Any thoughts? Any thoughts? We good? No, all right. Oh, we got, okay, JJCB.XXL. When the US crowds try to copy international countries, they're almost never in sync. Yeah, I do notice that American crowds, I mean, the 3-week stint that WWE did internationally was, it was probably really bad for the crowds that we have now because they were really incorporating their cool, you know, chants maybe that they had for football. Ugh, you know what I mean? But they use that and they, you know, change some of the words for wrestling things like the AJ Styles, the Phenomenal thing, and then the Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns. I don't know if that's like a sports thing or if that's like a concert. I don't know what that is. I just know that it's an internationally started chant. But after that stint, actually a lot of the European countries were doing that chant for certain wrestlers, and then America started doing it for everybody. And while I don't think that we should be excluded from a chant, because if it's a chants are universal, you know what I mean? And say like, you know, America's going, this is awesome, clap, 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 and then, you know, fucking Germany or a non-mostly English-speaking country is doing the same thing, or they're going, asshole, asshole. That's like, you know, it's the same thing. You can have chants. Chants are fine, because everybody does, there's universal chants. However, it's some stuff sounds weird when other countries say it, and I think the stuff like the Roman Reigns, that's a little weird. And I do think that we did get it from, you know, European countries. I don't know if that's the worst thing that wrestling fans do, but it's definitely unoriginal. So I'll give you that. Let's go with Aaron underscore bunch of numbers, who says misogynistic. Fuck off. I don't know how to spell it. I feel like if you're on an iPhone, it would have just done it automatically, or you could, I don't know, Google. Google's a thing that you can get. But we've already talked about this in Reddit videos before. Wrestling fans, I think this is an objective thing, they're misogynistic. And I did a rant in a Reddit video recently, and a bunch of people were like, oh, you can't tell me that I need to watch women's wrestling, or, oh, how are you gonna tell me that I'm sexist for not liking women's wrestling? Because that's kind of how it works. Some people are just like, oh, well, what if I just don't like watching women wrestle? How does that make me sexist? What? What are we talking about? I need to actually read out some of the comments on this. We're gonna name and shame real quick because I think it's important. Yeah. Okay. So this dude Jordan McKaylee put like a comment, kind of saying he agreed with what I said, and then Scared Watch underneath it said, "You can't call someone misogynistic for having an opinion." That bad way to start, because yes, you can. And not being interested in a women's match, that's like saying straight people are all homophobic for not liking the same sex. However, weird comparison. Not liking women's match is different from not liking women's wrestling. The topic is not liking women's wrestling in general, which I've had people say to me multiple times. Let me find a more egregious one, because some people actually have good opinions on it. Okay, like with the women's booking kind of makes it harder to get invested in the women's matches. That I can understand because they don't, yeah. But let's see, because I know that there's more. Okay, here we go. Love your channel, but nobody can shame people for choosing to watch what they like, whether it's men or women in the ring. That applies to basically anything in life, and you are free to disagree with their preferences. But that's as much as you can do. Maybe we need to stop being oversensitive and just get on with it. I don't think I'm being oversensitive for thinking that you not choosing to want to watch a women's match makes you kind of sexist. Because what is it then? You know what I mean? Like, women's matches, especially recently, have been pretty much just on point. I just think you'd rather see, nipples and stuff. Again, that's not the most egregious one that I've seen. Oh, here we go. You can't shame people for not wanting to watch a women's match. Maybe that's not what they like. Why? Why don't you like? Tell me a reason why. If the answer is not because they're women, I'd like to hear a valid argument as to why someone would not like women's wrestling. Booking aside, okay, let's take away booking. Let's just say a new promotion started you've never seen before, and it's all women. And you go, I'm not gonna watch that. Why? What's the answer to that? I don't know. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Noah in that same comment section. Is it misogyny for me not to like women's wrestling? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Sorry. I hate to burst bubbles on this channel, but fucking pop, baby. Like, I need you to understand. Sometimes you just gotta admit the kind of person that you are. You know what I mean? So many people are a certain way or think a certain way that it categorizes them in a certain community of people, and they hate to have that label on them, even though you share literally the same ideologies as these people. Oh, I don't like women's wrestling. Literally, how does this sound? I hate women's wrestling. Does that make me misogynistic? No. So then why don't you like women? That's literally the definition. I'm not gonna be all fucking, Jared Small Afro's gone woke. He's a sissy now. Oh, you defended women, he's a sissy boy. What, you gonna start putting wigs on and painting your nails? Oh, you said you like women, you defended women, you pussy sissy boy. My dad. Never mind. All right, let's move on. Oh, then you get the flip side of it. We got Bokeef. People being creepy to women wrestlers. Now, the same people, I guarantee you, the community, the part of the community that stinks and the part of the community that will stalk women, some of them go hand in hand. There's like a Venn diagram that we're kind of in the middle of it right now, right? I feel like it overlaps just a little. I have seen the funniest fucking things involving men wrestling fans and women, because while you might not like to watch women's matches, you love the idea of wanting to fuck them and buy their feet pictures. So how about, was it Liv Morgan or Alexa Bliss? Hopefully you can help me out with that. So how about somebody selling their house? They sold their house for a fake, I'm gonna say it was Liv Morgan. They sold their house for a fake account. She's gonna fuck you because you sold her house. You could fuck in the house. If she wanted to fuck you out, shouldn't she just come to the house? Why does a wrestler need money from you? They're on television. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're asking you for a couple $100. How stupid can you fucking be? But this is the whole point of the video. Sometimes we're stupid. And when I say we, I have to speak for people in this community, all right? People that aren't wrestling fans that may or may not be watching this video. You got to understand, this community sucks. It sucks so bad. And if you're trying to get into it, you need to know what's going on along with it. Stinkiness, misogyny, what else? Bad chants that kind of derail, storylines. And creeps. We're scratching the surface so far. Oh, man. What else is going on? I mean, like, stalking. What's up with that Roxanne Perez situation? We just dropped that? That's just something that people were doing. Okay. We got Madison Mole wishing injury / bad luck on a wrestler you don't like. They're human beings with families. Yeah, and I mean, I agree with you. I sighed like I didn't agree with you. I absolutely do. I mean, there's a lot of wrestlers that I don't like. Obviously, if you've been watching this channel. Do I want any of them to get hurt ever? No, that's a terrible thing to do. And I think that, kayfabe goes so far, or maybe not kayfabe, people's idea that a wrestling personality is the same person in real life, like a heel. And, or like just people, again, or just maybe people that you just don't like because you don't like watching them. Like if I said that I fucking wanted Braun Breaker to get hurt, what kind of asshole would I be for saying that? Why would I say that? You know what I mean? I don't want him to get hurt, ever. I think that's a little sadistic, and I think it also just might be to get attention, which I think the moral of today's video is stop listening to people online. I think that's how I've carried myself recently. You know how many things people have said about me over the years? You know how much shit I've had to deal with in my life from wrestling fans? You gotta stop giving a shit, because, like, what? I don't care. Like, you gotta stop caring. And I feel like a lot of wrestlers take that, mentality because they have to hear it a lot more than people like me do. Social media gave everybody a voice, okay? And people use that voice to spew as much hatred as possible because they want to, be as shocking as they possibly can for clicks, or maybe a tweet, can get a couple hundred likes on it, and they're like, oh, fuck yeah, because I said I want this person to die. And, like, I'm fucking wicked, dog. Like, can you believe that I said that shit? Like, oh, fuck. Ain't nobody telling me shit, dog. You know what I mean? It's like, calm down. Like, this is the mentality that some wrestling fans have, and it's unfortunate. Again, I don't mean to speak for everybody, by the way. I feel like I'm speaking in a very general tone, like, about wrestling fans. This is, the bad parts of the community that we're talking about, or maybe just some flaws that, yes, the overall community does have. When I talk about people being stalkers and creeps and, bad people online, it's a handful of people, and it's a very vocal minority, compared to the people that kind of just shut the fuck up. But it's the people that don't shut the fuck up that we have to deal with all the time. So unfortunately, the people that shut the fuck up can't outweigh the people that don't shut the fuck up, because these people don't shut the fuck up. I hope I'm making sense so far. All right. We got a lot of what chant. I looked at this next page, and kids, you want to literally add all of them. So many things about the what chant in this thing, which is weird because that's a very big hated chant, but people keep doing it, which is interesting, but okay. Oh, we got Madison again, showing up to their house / airport / private, I guess just like, place of staying or whatever, or inappropriate places for an autograph. I don't understand why people still give autographs to these people. You know what I mean? Like, you're stalking where I get off of the plane? How did you even know what plane I was on? I get off the plane. I'm putting myself in a wrestler's shoes. I'm getting off a plane, and there's fucking 15 people standing there with action figures and what's the book called that they have? Programs and stuff like that, and Funko Pops. And you expect me to sign them because you stalked my location? And the crazy thing is, people do it. People literally do it. And even the people that will talk smack about it, they'll do it. And I gotta give them credit, because, like, you just want these people to get out of your head. But oh my God. If I have to deal, like, if I was a wrestler, like, I'm sorry, sometimes you gotta put your foot down. I know you're not, you don't know what people got on them all the time. I mean, you're in an airport though, but you're not too familiar with, like, what some person might be carrying on them. You want to be as safe in a situation as possible. Fuck that. Put your foot down, dog. Most people are pussies. You know what I mean? Most people are pussies and they're not gonna do shit. So it's like, if you don't feel comfortable with people stalking you, stop giving them the platform to do so. Oh, well, I know Kevin Owens is, really angry that, I followed his plane all the way here. But, he's going to sign it regardless, so I'm going to have to deal with the attitude, whatever. I can sell this thing on eBay for a couple of dollars. If I was, I'm just using Kevin Owens as an example. I know he hates the airport shit, but if I was in, like, that wrestler's shoes, I would just ignore him and just keep walking, or I'd tell him to go fuck off. You stalking bitch. Get a job. It's so bad. A house? You're showing up people's houses? What's wrong with you? That's like a genuine question. What is wrong with you? Because there's something wrong. There's something wrong that makes you think it's okay to do stuff like that. People don't get shot enough.
I beg your pardon?
We got Kinser056. This is interesting, actually. The fact that no matter what opinion you have, you're somehow always wrong. Well, let's think about opinions. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of how I want to say this, because everything I could be saying in this video could be, like, wrong. I don't think you should be stalking people, even though that's a weird opinion. That's technically an opinion. You know what I mean? I think it's okay to not have the same views as somebody. I think it's only kind of appropriate to criticize the content of their character because of their opinion if it's something like weird. You know what I mean? Like, you get the point. But if you have an opinion, if this person has an opinion and this person has a different opinion, I don't know if that is a bad thing, or if this person's saying, hey, I think you're wrong, and this person's saying, I think you're wrong. That's also okay. I think it's how you go about it that's the big thing about it. I can't talk today. Let's give you an example. Podcasters, even me, you know what I mean? Like, I'd like to think, while I can give my opinion, I'm very vocal about how I feel about a specific thing. You're never gonna watch this channel and not know what I'm thinking at this moment in time, because I see something, I think about it for a second, maybe not all the time, but I have the thought in my head and I say it, you know what I mean? And I give you my opinion on this camera. Now some of you might agree with me, some of you might very much not agree with me, and sometimes you vocalize, sometimes you don't. That's also okay, you know what I mean? Me saying something on this channel doesn't make it gospel. I'm not sitting here saying that everything that I believe about wrestling is the be-all, end-all of wrestling. I think that's the common misconception. Oh, Small Afro said this. What is he, a fucking idiot? You think things are like this? Like, oh my God, you don't know wrestling at all. That's just how I feel. What do you want me to get on here and fucking lie to you about what I think? Like, if you genuinely want me to just sit here and give you the most cookie cutter bullshit ass, like, boring answer because that's what you think the right thing to do is, go watch another channel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna tell you what I think, and if you don't agree with it, that's okay. I'm not sitting here begging for you guys to understand where I'm coming from about literally anything. I kind of don't care. I just say the words, and it's up to you whether or not you want to, agree or not. It doesn't really matter if you do or don't at all. So I think it's a weird gray area when it comes to, criticizing another wrestling fan's opinion. I think that's fine. If you're giving your opinion about something, you got to be open to getting criticized for that opinion, because that's also somebody else's opinion. Me saying something and somebody disagreeing with what I said, it's two different opinions. So, like, that's just kind of how the world works. Unless you're being super hostile about it, to the point where, like, you're going after somebody's, like, personally, you're going after somebody personally, you're trying to insult them personally, that's too much. But if you think, like, okay, I really don't think that you are knowledgeable about this, I think that's, like, it's weird. There's a kind of a weird way to say that, but I think it's, like, fine, because that's what an opinion is. And I can't stop nobody from having an opinion, just like you can't fucking stop me. Let's keep going.
Fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right.
I like this one, Miguel562. When they bring up views and money like they work for WWE, I could not give less of a fuck how many views Raw got this week. I don't care how many views NXT got compared to AEW this week. I couldn't give less of a shit how well SmackDown is doing compared to how it did 5 years ago. Who cares? Is WWE ever going out of business? No. Is AEW going out of business anytime soon, if ever? No. The conversation should be about the product. And I'm not sitting here with fucking stock portfolios sitting here wondering if, oh my God, am I losing money today on whatever? Or, oh, well, you know, Seth Rollins makes more money than Will Ospreay, so that makes Seth Rollins a better wrestler because he has more success in his career. What are we talking about? Like, that's some mark shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I've been guilty of it in the past. I used to really track every week when NXT and AEW were going head to head. I used to track to see, like, who was doing better. That's stupid. It's stupid because it really doesn't matter. Like, it matters for I get why it matters for the company. You know what I mean? If I was WWE, I'd want NXT to be doing better than AEW because WWE is my company. Just like if I was AEW, I'd want Dynamite to be better than NXT because that's my company. But why does it matter for, like, us? I think the tribalism has gone so far that, like, we're not even talking about the wrestlers or storylines or who the top stars are in the company. It's, hey, how'd you do in the Nielsen ratings? You people make me want to throw up in my fucking mouth. Who cares? Okay, we got Cody Kwan. Glazing and believing everything Triple H says, like, oh, R-Truth return was a work. We've talked about this as well. It wasn't. You know what I mean? I think being, like, a fan, a huge fan of something can blind you. And, you know, maybe everything that I've said so far, what I'm about to say might contradict that. And if it does, I'm sorry. But I kind of can understand being, like, a WWE super fan, right? Like, you're super, like, you live, breathe, and bleed, sweat, and cry World Wrestling Entertainment, where, you know, if anybody says anything bad about them, maybe you're one of those guys that really like everything that they do, and you feel like there's no immoral business practices, which I actually don't think is an opinion. I think that's just wrong. I think there are certain things that they lie about. I think it's a kind of a fact rather than an opinion that they're lying about certain things. But I can see somebody who's such a big fan trying to look past it as much as they can for, you know, blindness, or like they just don't want to believe that a company that they've been supporting for so long could be a little corrupt or a little wrong sometimes. And while this is a definitely hypocritical statement from me because I'm the first person to vocalize how stupid I think some people can be, again, that's my opinion, but I also can understand the flip side of it as well. You know what I mean? Like, I love this company. People hate on this company too much, and you get so defensive because maybe you got to deal with people going, hey, don't you know wrestling's not real or whatever, and then anybody else that says something about anything, you're automatically on the defense about it, like, no, like, because fucking I love this company so much. I get that. I think at the end of the day, some people just have to think for themselves. You know what I mean? It's okay to have your own opinion. I don't think you should be scared to say how you feel because of a popular opinion online or anything like that. I think it's okay for you to think to yourself and come to a conclusion on your own without trying to please the majority of the people that are listening to you. You know what I mean? Everybody could fucking hate everything I said in this entire video. I kind of don't care because I'm just being honest about how I feel. You know what I mean? We've already said that a couple times in this video already. And again, like, we'll go into the actual comment, believing everything Triple H has to say. If that's what you want to do, fine. I don't know if that really makes you, like, a shitty person. I just think it makes you a little ignorant. And I feel weird because I want to say that that's my opinion, but I also think that it is a fact that WWE can do wrong sometimes. Like Triple H saying R-Truth, him being fired and coming back was a work. I guess it's my opinion that that's bullshit because it's led to nothing. It's led to absolutely nothing. And I knew that it was going to lead to nothing from the moment Triple H said, I went on a whole 7-8 minute rant, and everybody was like, oh, what are you, a fucking mark? Of course it was a work. Huh? Get fucked. Huh? Triple H is my daddy, and I suck him off. And then as time has gone on, we've realized, oh, no, Triple H was lying. A lot of these overlap. I'm seeing like scent, hygiene. They stink. They stink so bad. We'll end it on this one. I'm going to screenshot it from CM like Bobo. Telling someone they aren't a real wrestling fan or a real fan unless they've been watching since the Attitude Era. I agree with this. I have seen a lot of older people that go, oh, like, you don't fucking know wrestling whatsoever. Like, you didn't grow up in the era of the Macho Man Randy Savage, huh? You didn't grow up with Flair, Dusty, So what can what opinion could you possibly have? Well, because you grew up with John Cena, you think you know shit. I grew up with fucking Bobo Brazil. I don't think any of that matters. I think you can be watching wrestling for a month and have an opinion on wrestling, especially from, like, let's say somebody on the outside. Crystal, she doesn't watch wrestling that often, but she has her own opinions about, let's say, John Cena's heel turn. That's just from her casual, experience, because everybody comes into wrestling at different times. I think it's weird to shame people that have been watching for, like, not that long because, and they think I know more than them. All right. Not everything that worked in the 90s works now. Not everything that works now, would have worked back in the 80s. It's like times change, things change. People are also into different things. You know what I mean? Like if you're not really into rest holds and somebody else is, it's like, okay, that's just, you're into different things. Me saying, hey, I think rest holds are kind of a boring spot in a wrestling match. I think it's kind of outdated and it kind of brings the energy down rather than working to bring the energy back up. And then somebody goes, oh, well, what the fuck do you know about wrestling? Back in 1979 when we had fucking Schmeckeldorf ass cheese versus, Mike Jones. Man, you should have heard that crowd when that rest hold was being put in. I've never heard a pop like that in my life when it got out of that headlock. That's fine. All right, well, let me know what you think about wrestling fans in the comments below.
Fuck 'em!
We'll see you for the next video. Peace out.